Wow, hello guys, welcome to Master Builders Online Academy. You're welcome to this online platform where you can learn all the principles that will help you gain mastery in any calculation course at all. And now we have a very simple question before us, and as such, a lot of persons do always confuse these two questions at the same time. So many people believe that the same way you treat the first question, which is y equal to sine exponential 3x and y equals to sine x exponential 3 is the same. All right, so in this module I'll be showing you exactly how to differentiate these two different functions. All right, so they are not actually the same function but different functions. Shall we quickly dive into this as I hold you by the hand and show you the principles required to have these guys differentiated with ease. Now, on the screen we have solution, and then we are asked to differentiate y equal to sine exponent 3x and y equals to sine x exponent 3. From the pronunciation, you can actually see that there is a big difference between these two entities, right? So now let's start with the first case, and then we'll validate whether they will give us the same results or they will give us different results. Okay, now let's dive into this. So number one, we are given that y is equal to sine cube x. Mathematically, this is exactly the same thing as sine x all raised to the power of 3. So mathematically, sine cube x or sine exponential 3x is the same thing as sine x all raised to the power of 3, all raised to the power of 3. Okay, so if this is clear, all we just need to do is that when you have a function like this whereby you have only one function of x, you solve such problems using chain rule or function of a function. So what we are simply going to do now, we are going to take another letter to represent the function of x that we have here. So we simply say let u be equal to sine x. So now what are we going to do with this? We are going to differentiate u with respect to x. So we have du over dx is equal to, when you differentiate sine s, you have cos x. All right, so let's divide here. Now, having differentiated this, the next thing that we are left with is that from the given function we then have y is equal to, remember that everything inside this bracket has been taken as u, remember, right? So in this bracket now we are going to substitute u in place of sine x, and if we do that, we automatically have this as u raised to the power of 3. So again, this outcome gives us a function of y and u, so we are going to differentiate y with respect to u, and if we do this, we are going to have 3 u raised to the power of 2. Remember, you bring down the power to become the coefficient and then reduce the original power by 1. So 3 minus 1 would have given us 2. So we have been able to differentiate the two different functions. All we just need to do now is to bring out the relationship between du over dx and dy over du so that we can obtain our dy over dx. That's what we are asked to do. We are asked to find the rate of change between y and x. Okay, so we just therefore recall dy over dx is equal to dy over du multiplied by du over dx. So all we need to do now to get our dy over dx is to simply just substitute in the value for dy over du, which is 3 u raised to the power of 2 multiplied by cos x, which is du over dx, right? So all we need to do now is that we need to put in the value of u. Remember that u has been taken as sine x, and because of the fact that the question came in terms of x and y, we are not going to leave our answer in terms of y, and u. So we're going to substitute in for u, and then we said u is sine x all squared cos x. Automatically, this would have given us 3 sine square x cos x. So this is what we have for this particular question. Of course, we can actually simplify this further. But we are not interested in applying trigonometrical identities here. All right, so we'll pause this one here. This is the answer to this very question. So all we just need to do now, guys, is to look at the second question and see if it will also turn out to give us the same results. Okay, so let's come back to the question. Now we have y equals to sine s exponential 3. So we have y is equal to sine x exponential 3. So when you check this and the first, the difference between this and the first case is that in this case now, this power 3 is only affecting x, not including the sine x. Are you here? It's only affecting x. It's not affecting both x and sine. So in this case now, all we simply need to do is to say let u be equal to s cubed, because this is the function of x here. So automatically this is the same thing as sine open bracket s cubed. So you find out that the cube is only affecting x, like you can see there. So all I need to do now is to differentiate u with respect to x, such that if I bring down the power, we're going to have 3x raised to the power of 2, and then we divide this into 2. Then what we are left with is that y is equal to sine, in this bracket, what we have inside this bracket now is u, so you put your u there. That's all. So all we need to do in this case now is to differentiate y with respect to u. So we have dy over du, and this would have given us cos u. Again, having differentiated these two functions, all we just need to do again is to state the relationship between du over dx and dy over du, which enable us to obtain our derivative, which is dy over dx. So we have dy over dx, as we recall, is equal to dy over du multiplied by du over dx. So we just need to substitute in their values, and then we are good to go. Now, for dy over du, we have this as cos u, and then multiply by du over dx, we had 3x squared. And if we multiply this will give us 3x squared cos u. Guys, remember that our u here is s cubed. So we cannot leave our answer in terms of u. So our answer will be in terms of y and x only. So what do? We just replace u by s raised to the power of 3. So we then have 3x squared cos s cubed. So this is the answer to this. So as you can see now, there is a great difference between the derivative of sine exponential x, of sine exponential 3x, and sine x exponential 3. There is a great difference. So the answer to the first is this, and then the answer to this other last guy is what we have here. So thank you guys for watching. God bless you. We'll see you guys in the next module. Thank you for watching.